our scene doesn't really know how to deal with Razor Rush.
No, not
So
really.
he can just Razor Rush into the DMs and call it a day.
Maybe so, but I'm really interested. Yeah, we're gonna get the Lay versus the Gigas. I didn't think we were gonna see a Negan, but I did see him playing a little bit of Lucille earlier, so I wasn't too sure. I don't think that would have been a particularly bad matchup either, but go with the tried and true on this one.
I honestly think Negan would probably be better than than Gigas. But we can talk about that another time.
Oh, what a stage to start off. Forgotten Realm. This is gonna be gross. Yeah, so right off the bat, honestly, this is what I do want to see. Like, gotta really stay in his face and try to run your offense. Because what I don't want to see PolkaBird do too much of is try to force the mix-up. Like, you gotta have to play a little bit of neutral, especially against subs, where you really would have to shut him down first before you can let anything fly, because he will let it rip at any time.
That's kind of one of the problems. If there's anything that I've learned in like talking to Dean, that's kind of one of the hard. First of all, that was an amazing duck.
Yes, it was. Oh, that's gonna be it.
But that's kind of one of the big things that's scary about Lay, is that if you try to force a mix-up one block, you never know if your opponent's actually gonna mash or not, and you don't know if they're mashing because they know that that's fake or they're just scared. So that's kind of one of the downsides. You want to enforce your mix-up one hit when they actually have to get it, but that will require like something like that, right? Getting your plus frames, and then frame trapping and beating the mix after.
And my man's just got caught ducking. That's B3 straight for the first game.
I think he'll be fine. He just needs to slow down what he's doing. Let his defense become his offense as Lay, because as we clearly saw in the first game, SubZero doesn't know how to block, so he likes to hit buttons. So we have to do something about buttons. And what do? We whiff punish button. So.
And he definitely is a pretty solid whiff punisher with that and FF3. Oh, counter 8 B charge. And that is a launcher.
So yeah, so it's kind of awkward, but Lay's while rising through +4 is actually -15. No one launches it. I don't know why.
And that is an immediate.
And I'm gonna need him to get off of this stage if he loses again.
Yeah, I wouldn't do this stage against the Gigas.
Amazing whip punish on the hop kick though.
He really hurts on a stage like this. I respect the attempt, but damn it, I need people to launch 1-2 from Gigas.
It's -8.
It's basically the same as Flash combo from Machines. He dies for that. Oh, what a whip there from Acer. Going downstairs. Yeah, after this, I really think that he would want to switch stages. Because almost every single... Oh my god, I respect the attempt.
That's not a thing, though.
It's not. I respect the attempt.
Why? It's not a thing.
Listen.
You have to just guess.
Listen. And if he had guessed
That's not even a guess.
If he guessed right, which he did, unfortunately, no cigar back to the drawing board.
That's not even a perfect guess, because it's not like he just couldn't have done anything.
Hey, listen, at that point, it definitely was to him, and maybe it won't be, and he'll try a little something different next time. But the first thing I do need to see is we need to see a stage switch. Because SubZero has been all too comfortable with running almost every single floor break, and he's just melting his health bar away. Like, this is not a good stage for Lay.
I'ma just say, stage pick notwithstanding, SubZero knows how to win neutral, because my man hasn't broken a single 1+2 throw that does like 60 damage. So I'ma just need you to keep running that throw, SubZero.
And realistically, when it comes to honestly, just like innate Brazzlers, they rarely ever use any other throws. So most of the time, if you're in that stance, you should pretty much be ready to have a 1+2 on standby. They rarely ever use the other 1s or the 2s, which are still fairly easy to break in their own right. But you're hard pressed to see them use any of the other throws that Gigas has.
That's true. But even if you know it's coming, you still have to break it.
Precisely.
And honestly, if I had a throw, which I do.
Oh, what a punish, that was great.
That does basically half-life for free, I would think that I would just keep doing it.
Oh, absolutely.
Why
And
wouldn't
he's
I? I
got
don't
him
have
at
to
the wall.
think
This is the
anymore.
type of pressure you want to put on the Gigas. I can't be interrupting that though. Well,
Plus
he
frame.
can, but I wouldn't recommend. And got caught ducking. That's free damage. And
Counter
we
hit
have
confirmed,
two
sir.
confirmed.
Round 2.
Ouchies.
Fight.
So here's something that Polka should also keep in mind. Gigas isn't really too threatening when you're point blank. The only two things that you really don't want him to do are his sneak edge, which is front full crouch. And you don't want him to do that, right? You don't want him to just get a free charge mix-up.
But he dropped the combo.
But otherwise, you don't really have to be too afraid if Gigas is standing point. Right? If he's standing in point blank range. So he doesn't have to be so afraid and like try to use the buttons to get his way out.
Precisely. And that was a nice
That was a
interrupt.
great
That was, yeah. It was a bit risky, but I do like the interrupt. Overall, okay. And Mr. Guess, nice patience there.
You're a Gigas player, so is the golden charge the mid? Is that plus?
Round 4.
That is safe on block. It's like -1, so he can still
So
really
it's
get
basically-
something because of the pushback. Honestly, think of it as plus. That's at least the way I see it.
Wow,
Oh,
it's almost
good
like you could
lord.
have done that sooner. It's almost like just doing 3 of those could get us out of here way sooner. Just do it again.
Round
But it's like we had said, he
Don't
hasn't
give me
used
like that.
he
Like,
hasn't
do it
used any
again.
other throw thus far. And he also hasn't really done any of the other options other than Golem Stance 2, which is 0 on block, so he can take his turn after that anyway.
Brain hop kick is the wrong hop kick if you block 1-2. Just do the regular one.
Like thus far, the only 2 options we've seen him do is the
fight.
Golem 2, 0 on block, so Polka can take his turn after that move, or the 1+2 throw. He hasn't really done Golden Stance 1. He hasn't gone for the low either. So either he breaks this throw or he takes his turn at this 0 on block move. And the other ones are basically...
Well, here's the thing. If it's 0, it's not your turn. Because if you both
It's a chance
jab
to
after,
take your turn back.
it's really kind of not though. That's -12. I need him to punish them. It's just neutral, so you can do whatever. At that
Exactly,
point.
it's 0, which means you have a chance to take your turn back still. Which he can do with Lei. But 9 times out of 10, with these 0 on block, what does he do? Go for the high crush. Down back 2, counter hit.
He didn't know how to break that Sub-Zero. What I say?
And that's another.
Listen.
Round 4. Fight.
Good. Bully him more.
Oh, no big punt. That is launchable as hell. Back 1, he dies for that.
Ow, is that
With
guaranteed?
all, yes, that is. Yes, that is a real. That is real.
Final round.
This character's cheap.
Fight.
Yeah, Gigas can hurt if you use him. Oh, ran right into. Listen, down 2. Double down 2. It never fails.
Alright, so that's actually -12. If he does, what is it, forward 3-2?
Forward 3-2 is actually negative. It's -12 if he goes into Golem Stance. If he doesn't do it, it's -14.
So at the very least, it's -12.
Yeah, at the very least, that's
So yeah,
manageable.
so that's still a mix. That's still a free mix for Lei. So you gotta make, so all of those opportunities become important,
Mhm.
especially when Polka doesn't have any opportunity to run his game. First of all, I feel like he needs an instant stage
Round 1.
because,
Fight.
I mean, it's too late now because I think it's 4-0. It is 4-0. But he's kind of getting wrecked at the wall.
And where are we right now? We're getting a press really
Exactly.
fast. You've got Gigas, who has these long limbs where he can push you to the wall really easily, charge up, down. That was a nice
Amazing
push.
duck and launch.
That was clean.
If we don't do anything else this set, we did that, and I like it.
But this entire game has been a lot of like SubZero doing a lot of forward 3-2, knocking all the way to the wall, get ready to guess on wake up, and a whole bunch of charge back to. So he's been pushing him towards the wall this entire time. Hit confirmed DF2 ones. He's basically been saying you're gonna go to this wall and you're gonna like it. And if you don't, your health bar melts faster. Again, no punish on the back one. Alright, so starting to get some wheels turning here. Let's see if he can hold it down. But he definitely doesn't want to back too close to the wall here. Full skill. At the 3, he can kill him here. He can kill him here.
I don't know why we're doing
that
this,
was
because it's like, it's not like Sub-Zero doesn't know how to win.
That
So
was,
I don't know why we're
that
doing
was Rage Art.
this right now.
If he had run Rage Art, that definitely would have been his round. That would have 100% been the round.
But also,
And the one thing that does kind of concern me, which I don't agree with, is that he's doing a lot of like twitch ducking against Gigas. For one thing, Gigas doesn't have really any threatening lows.
if you don't really know the matchup, which kind of is apparent at this point, you don't know that. So you're just kind of twitching because you're not really sure what's coming. And
While
if
that
you
would
don't
be
know what to
fair,
expect, that's just kind
when
of
it comes to a lot of Gigas lows, he's a big character, so most big characters by default, or big body characters usually are going to have really crappy lows. Him, Marduk, Paul. None of them really,
hold on. They do not. All of these characters do not have that.
like Marduk has pretty reasonable lows, but versus his
Marduk has
character,
some of the best lows in the game.
he does, which actually makes him an exception. But like, let's say Paul Phoenix,
Paul Phoenix
Jack
has good.
is Jack is irritating
some of the
lows.
best lows. No, I'm sorry. That argument's invalid. Jack has some of the best low pokes in the game. For his game plan.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Paul, his lows base all get the job done. Especially QCF3 as his primary low.
Oh, of course. UCF
Marduk has literally 2 of the best lows in the game and used in tandem with down 3 and down 4. Not even to mention Python Explosion.
And there again is the whiff DF2-1. But I would
Fakumram
say-
has some dumb lows.
Okay,
even to
Fakumram
-13.
just breaks the game. That's a completely different story.
But he's a big character and he has good lows. So
That's true, but he also doesn't play like a big character. He really just has a huge hitbox. He's like the largest character that plays that note.
Big boy wall combos on Fakumram, he's
Exactly. He is a big character that doesn't play like one. So he's kind of a weird hybrid.
But the whole point is he's still big and he still has those lows.
That's
Gigas
true.
by far has the worst of the lows.
Which
But
don't really do much even on counter hits, so there's not really too much to be afraid of. So